Hello, I'm June Wakefield. I'm a tenant from Marlow.
I'm Rob Emery. I'm the interim head of Neighbourhoods.
Rob, what do your team deal with, please?
Well, I manage the neighbourhood service, and we're responsible for collecting the rent, which is around about £33 million a year currently. We're also responsible for estate management, which covers grounds maintenance and also the cleaning contract. We deal with antisocial behaviour and tenancy management. Tenancy management can cover anything from lettings, mutual exchanges, abandoned vehicles, abandoned properties where someone's left a property and we need to investigate, where people have sublet properties, and also things like assignment.
Thank you. How can I help improve my neighbourhood?
Well, we have a neighbourhood interest group, meets on a monthly basis, made up of tenants and leaseholders, and at that meeting you have an opportunity to discuss the neighbourhood improvement budget, and the opportunity is there to be part of the decision making process of how that money gets spent, and also involved in discussions around antisocial behaviour and issues such as welfare reform and estate management, and also looking at the performance to see that my team are carrying out our duties.
What is the neighbourhood and environmental budget, and how can I apply?
Okay. It's a budget of £400,000 a year, which was part of the transfer promise. It's a budget which allows for tenants to decide how they want to improve the environment that they live in. Some of the examples are that we've put in additional parking, there's been some security works done, some landscaping, we've fitted some security lights to some properties, better access for some of the sheltered schemes to help people to better turn in circles, and also we're currently looking at one which is around sort of updating a play area. In terms of how people can apply, the application form is available on the website and also within the offices. People can just phone in for a form. What we do is we get someone fills in the form, and we want to see that they're not looking to do this on their own, that it's sort of the residents around by them agree with and support the idea of what they're asking for. We then carry out a feasibility study and put a cost to that to see how much it's going to cost, and then a report is taken to the neighbourhood interest group, and they actually make the final decision in terms of whether they want to support the application or not. If it comes to over £10,000, it actually goes to the board who make that final decision. We have got some examples of what some areas look like before and some after.
Lastly, and this is a more difficult one of my neighbours is finding it difficult to pay her rent since welfare reform came in, and she's living in a property which is too big for her. What can she do about it?
Welfare reform, probably one of the biggest challenges out there for tenants and for housing organisations. She effectively is being affected by the bedroom tax, which means that if she underoccupies by one room, she has to pay 14% of her rent, or she loses housing benefit for 14%. If it's more than one room, then it's 25%. But there are a number of things that we can do to help somebody. There is a scheme called discretionary housing payment, which is administered from Wickham District Council, and they will look to use that money to support people who are struggling, but normally they will have to have had a reason in terms of they're looking to downsize to a smaller property, or maybe there's an issue with a disability or something like which is the reason for having the spare room. It could well be that their children are about to come to an age where they'll no longer be affected by the bedroom tax, so there may be some allowances for that. We have a home budgeting officer here who can help people in terms of looking at their income expenditure to see if we can help them in any ways, maximise their income in any way, and look at some of their expenses. But a lot of the way forward really is probably to downsize from the existing property, and there are various ways you can do that. One is you can apply for the Bucks Home Choice, which is the choice-based letting scheme, and if you downsize, we will actually give you £1,000 incentive. If you have any rent arrears, we just deduct that straight off. If you owe more than that, we still expect you to find a way of clearing the rest of the account. But that's one way of helping. Of course, there's not always the properties available through the Bucks Home Choice. So the other way of doing it is look at mutual exchanges. And we recommend to people that they join the Home Swapper, which is a national mutual exchange scheme. And we certainly have been helping people to try and match properties. And again, we will help with an incentive on mutual exchanges for those people affected by bedroom tax. We will give a payment of £1,000, and again we will pay that off the arrears if need be. But also we have another scheme where we'll help people with their removals, their disconnections and reconnections, that type of thing.
Thank you.